My chosen one, stop right there before your fingers move again, before your eyes drift back to that screen. Something urgent is reaching for your spirit at this exact moment. Today, June 11th, is not like any other day you have lived. There is a reason you paused. There is a reason this message found you before anything else could distract you. This is not coincidence. This is interruption by design. You were about to scroll. You were about to check something that could have waited. But instead, something unseen whispered, "Wait, listen first." That whisper was not your imagination. That was guidance. That was protection. That was a divine interruption sent to shift your path in a way you may not yet understand. Archangel Michael is standing near you, even now, not in a way your eyes can see, but in a way your spirit can feel. There is a weight in this moment, a stillness, a pull that feels different from anything else today. That is because something has already begun moving in your life, something powerful, something irreversible, something that will not wait for your full awareness to catch up. You may feel it as a subtle unease or maybe a quiet curiosity. Perhaps your heart is beating just a little differently right now. That is not random. That is your spirit recognizing truth before your mind has the chance to question it. Because what you are about to hear is not just information. It is a message meant specifically for you at this exact second in time. Listen carefully, because many will miss this. Many will choose distraction. Many will go back to their habits, their scrolling, their noise. But you, right now, have been given a window. A small opening in time where clarity can reach you before confusion takes over again. There is something about today, June 11th, that has shifted the atmosphere around you. Something unseen has aligned. A message has been released, and not everyone will hear it. But you are hearing it because you were meant to. Because something in your life is about to change, and if you had continued without this moment, you might have missed the sign completely. This is your warning, but also your invitation. A warning that something has been quietly influencing your thoughts, your energy, your direction without you fully realizing it. And an invitation to become aware, to step into a level of understanding that most people never reach. Archangel Michael is not here by accident. He does not arrive without purpose. When his presence draws near, it is because something hidden is about to be revealed, and something within you is ready to awaken. Do not rush away from this moment. Do not treat this like another passing video or another voice among many. This is different. You can feel it. Because before you check your phone again, before you return to everything that usually fills your attention, there is something you need to understand. Something has already started, and once you see it, you will never unsee it. Tell me, are you ready to hear what has been waiting for you? There is something you must understand now, and it may challenge the way you see your daily life. What you thought was normal, what you believed was harmless, has been quietly shaping your connection to the divine in ways you did not notice. That small habit, reaching for your phone without thinking, has become more than a routine. It has become a doorway. And not every doorway leads you where your soul is meant to go. Archangel Michael is revealing this not to bring fear, but to bring awareness. Because the greatest spiritual shifts do not always come through loud events or dramatic moments. Sometimes, they are hidden inside the smallest actions repeated every single day. Each time your attention is pulled away without intention, something sacred is interrupted. Each time your mind is flooded with noise before your spirit has had a chance to breathe, a message meant for you gets delayed. You were not created to live in constant distraction. You were not designed to wake up and immediately surrender your focus to everything except your own inner guidance. Yet this is what has slowly been happening. And it did not start all at once. It happened little by little, so quietly that you did not even realize something was being taken from you. But today is different. There is a spiritual frequency attached to this moment, to this date, June 11th, that is calling your awareness back. It is like a signal being sent directly to your soul, asking you to pause and listen before anything else claims your attention. And the fact that you are here right now, still listening, means you have already responded to that call. Many people felt the signal today, but they ignored it. They reached for distraction instead. They chose noise over stillness. And because of that, they missed what was being offered to them. But you did not. You stop. You listen. And that choice alone is already shifting something within you. Archangel Michael wants you to see this clearly. There has been a quiet battle over your attention. Not a battle you could see with your eyes, but one you have felt in moments of restlessness, confusion, or even emptiness after endless scrolling. That feeling was not meaningless. That was your spirit trying to tell you that something deeper was being overshadowed. Your attention is powerful. Where you place it determines what grows within you. When it is scattered, your clarity becomes scattered. When it is consumed by noise, your inner voice becomes harder to hear. And when your inner voice is silenced, you begin to feel disconnected, not just from yourself, but from the guidance that has always been trying to reach you. But here is the truth that changes everything. Nothing has been lost beyond recovery. Even now, in this very moment, your awareness is returning. Your spirit is waking up to something it hath been trying to show you for a long time. And this is why the message had to reach you before you checked your phone again. Because once you become conscious of this pattern, you can no longer move through it blindly. There is something waiting for you beyond the noise. Something clearer, something stronger, something aligned with your true path. But to reach it, you must first recognize what has been pulling you away. This is not about rejecting your daily life. It is about reclaiming your power within it. It is about choosing when to engage instead of being unconsciously led. It is about creating space, real, intentional space, where divine guidance can reach you without interference. Archangel Michael is guiding you into that space right now. And as you continue listening, something deeper will begin to unfold. Because this is only the beginning of what you were meant to see today. Stay with this moment. Do not rush away. There is more being revealed, and it is closer than you think. There is a reason your spirit feels more alert right now, as if something just beneath the surface is trying to rise into your awareness. This is not imagination. This is recognition. Because today, June 11th, carries a mark, a signal that has quietly opened a door in the spiritual realm. And whether you realized it or not, you have already stepped close to that doorway simply by being here, listening, and allowing this moment to hold your attention. Archangel Michael is revealing that this day was set apart long before you woke up this morning. There are moments in time when alignment becomes easier, when the distance between your physical reality and your spiritual awareness becomes thinner. Today is one of those moments. It is why things have felt slightly different, even if you could not explain it. It is why certain thoughts have been repeating, why certain feelings have been stronger, why something inside you has been urging you to pause and reflect. You may have noticed small signs leading up to this. Repeated numbers appearing in unexpected places. A sudden memory resurfacing without warning. A feeling that something is about to change, even if you cannot see how yet. These are not coincidences. These are signals, gentle nudges designed to guide your attention towards something important. But here is what most people do not realize. Signs are only powerful when they are recognized. When they are ignored, They fade into the background like everything else. And this is why this message had to reach you before you return to your usual distractions. Because right now, your awareness is open. Right now, you are able to see what others might overlook. Archangel Michael wants you to understand that a door has been opened specifically for you. Not for everyone, but for those who are ready to step into a higher level of clarity. This door does not force itself upon you. It waits. It invites. It responds only when you choose to acknowledge it. And this is where your power lies. You are not being asked to do something complicated. You are not being asked to become someone else overnight. You are simply being asked to notice, to become aware of what is already unfolding around you. Because once you truly see it, your path begins to shift naturally. There is also something else you must hear clearly. If you have been feeling uncertain, confused, or even slightly overwhelmed in recent days, it is not because you are lost. It is because something within you has been preparing to change. Growth often feels uncomfortable before it becomes clear. Expansion can feel like pressure before it becomes freedom. You are not falling behind. You are being repositioned. Archangel Michael is standing as a guardian at this doorway, not to block you, but to protect the transition you are about to make. There are influences that would prefer you remain distracted, unaware, and disconnected from this moment. But their hold weakens the moment you become conscious of what is happening. And you are becoming conscious now. This is why your presence here matters more than you think. This is why this moment had to come before anything else today. Because once you step through this awareness, you begin to move differently. You begin to choose differently. You begin to see through things that once confused you. So do not doubt what you are feeling. Do not dismiss the quiet pull inside you. That is your spirit responding to truth. And as you stand at this doorway, there is only one question that matters. Will you remain where you were, or will you step forward into what is opening for you? Because this moment will not repeat itself in the same way again. It is here now, waiting for your response. If this message is reaching deep into your spirit, then receive this activation now. Type "I receive the open door" in the comments if you feel this calling. Blessing code 4411 is now released over your path, aligning your steps with divine timing and protection. And as this door opens before you, understand this: what you choose to do next carries more weight than you realize. This is not just a message. This is a moment of decision. There is something you have not fully seen yet, and it has been quietly shaping your thoughts, your emotions, and even your decisions without announcing itself. It has not appeared as something obvious or alarming. Instead, it has moved subtly, blending into your daily life so naturally that you accepted it without question. But now, as your awareness sharpens, Archangel Michael is bringing this hidden influence into the light. This is not meant to frighten you. It is meant to free you. There are energies, patterns, and even people who can affect your inner state without you realizing how deeply they reach. Sometimes it shows up as persistent doubt that feels like your own voice. Sometimes it appears as sudden waves of discouragement that seem to come from nowhere. Other times, it disguises itself as distraction, pulling you away from moments that could have brought you clarity, peace, or direction. You may have noticed this without fully understanding it. Moments when you felt clear and focused, only to suddenly lose that clarity. Times when you were about to make a positive step forward, but something pulled your attention away at the exact wrong moment. These are not random interruptions. They are patterns. And now, those patterns are being exposed. Archangel Michael is revealing that not everything influencing you has your highest good in mind. Some influences thrive on keeping you uncertain, disconnected, or distracted. Not because you are weak, but because your awareness is powerful. And when that awareness is fully activated, it becomes impossible to control or mislead. This is why clarity is so important right now. The more clearly you see, the less power these hidden influences have. The moment you recognize a pattern, it begins to lose its hold over you. The moment you question a thought that once felt automatic, you create space between yourself and what was influencing you. And in that space, something new can enter: truth, guidance, and strength. But here is where it becomes deeply personal. There may be someone in your life, or a situation you have been part of, that has been quietly draining your energy. Not in a dramatic or obvious way, but in a slow, steady way that you only notice when you step back and reflect. Conversations that leave you feeling unsettled. Environments that make you feel smaller instead of stronger. Patterns that repeat even when you try to move forward. Archangel Michael is not asking you to react with anger or fear. He is asking you to see clearly. Because once you see clearly, your choices begin to change naturally. You no longer tolerate what disrupts your peace. You no longer ignore what your spirit is trying to show you. And this is where your strength begins to rise. You are not as affected as you once were. You are not as unaware as you used to be. Something inside you has shifted, and that shift is allowing you to recognize what you once overlooked. That is growth. That is awakening. There is also a deeper truth here that you must hold onto. You are protected. Even in moments when you felt confused, even in times when you felt pulled in different directions, there has been a presence watching over you, ensuring that nothing could fully derail your path. Archangel Michael does not arrive after the damage is done. He arrives to prevent it, to redirect it, to shield you in ways you may never fully see. This is why you are still standing. This is why you are still seeking. This is why you are here now, listening, understanding, and beginning to see what was once hidden. So do not ignore what is becoming clear to you. Do not push it aside or convince yourself it is nothing. Your awareness is not random. It is being guided. And as this truth settles within you, something powerful begins to happen. You stop reacting unconsciously. You start choosing with intention. You begin to reclaim parts of yourself that were slowly being influenced without your permission. This is your turning point into clarity. Because once something hidden is revealed, it cannot return to the shadows in the same way again. And now that you are seeing, you are no longer the same. What you are beginning to realize now is not just about what was hidden from you, it is also about what has been quietly protecting you all along. Because while there were influences trying to pull your attention away, there has also been a force standing firmly between you and harm, guiding you away from paths that were never meant for you. Archangel Michael wants you to see this clearly now. You were never alone in the moments you thought you were unprotected. You were never abandoned in the times when things did not make sense. In fact, some of the situations that did not work out in your life, some of the plans that fell apart, some of the connections that suddenly broke away were not losses at all. They were acts of protection. There were paths you could have taken that would have led you into confusion, pain, or delay. But something always interrupted them. Something shifted at the last moment. Something caused things to fall apart just before they could fully form. And at the time, it may have felt frustrating. It may have felt unfair. You may have even questioned why things were not going your way. But now, you are being shown a deeper truth. Those interruptions were not setbacks. They were shields. Archangel Michael has been working in ways you could not see, redirecting your steps, closing doors that would have drained you, and guiding you towards something that aligns more deeply with your true path. Even when you did not understand it, even when you felt disappointed, you were being protected from outcomes that would not have served your growth. Think back for a moment. There may have been a decision you almost made, but something stopped you. A place you almost went, but plans changed unexpectedly. A person you almost trusted completely, but something felt off, even if you could not explain why. Those moments were not random. They were interventions. And now, as your awareness expands, you can begin to see them for what they truly were. Protection does not always feel comfortable in the moment. Sometimes it feels like delay. Sometimes it feels like loss. But in truth, it is alignment in disguise. It is the divine ensuring that you do not move too far in a direction that would disconnect you from your purpose. Archangel Michael is asking you now to trust this protection more deeply than you ever have before. Not blindly, but consciously. To recognize that even when things do not unfold the way you expect, there may be something greater being arranged behind the scenes. Because here is what is happening now. The same force that protected you in the past is becoming more visible in your present. You are starting to feel it. You are starting to recognize when something is right and when something is not. Your intuition is becoming sharper. Your awareness is becoming clearer. And this is not by accident. It is because you are stepping into a new level of connection with your own inner guidance. A level where you do not need to second-guess yourself as much. A level where you begin to trust what you feel without needing constant external confirmation. This is how protection evolves. At first, it works around you, guiding and redirecting without your full awareness. But as you grow, it begins to work through you. Your instincts become part of that protection. Your awareness becomes your shield. Your clarity becomes your strength. And Archangel Michael stands with you in this transition. You are not being left to figure everything out on your own. You are being guided into a place where you can recognize guidance for yourself. Where you can feel when something aligns and when it does not. Where you can move forward with a quiet confidence that does not need to be forced. So if there is anything in your life right now that feels uncertain, do not rush to force an answer. Allow clarity to come. Trust that what is meant for you will not require confusion to reach you. Trust that what is not meant for you will naturally fall away, just as it has before. You are being protected even now, in ways you cannot fully see. And as this protection becomes more visible to you, something else begins to awaken alongside it, a deeper sense of direction, a stronger sense of purpose, and a quiet knowing that you are being led exactly where you need to be. There comes a moment in every spiritual journey when everything begins to narrow into a single point of decision. Not a loud, dramatic moment that the world can see, but a quiet, internal shift where you realize that continuing the same way is no longer an option. You are standing in that moment now. You may not have planned for it. You may not have even recognized it at first. But something within you has been moving toward this exact point. A crossroads where your awareness is clear enough to see two directions forming in front of you. One feels familiar, comfortable, and easy to fall back into. The other feels uncertain, deeper, and somehow more aligned with something you cannot fully explain yet. Archangel Michael is present in this moment, not to choose for you, but to make sure you see clearly before you decide. Because this decision is not about something small. It is not just about a single action or a temporary choice. It is about the direction your energy will follow from this point forward. It is about whether you continue moving unconsciously, guided by habit and distraction, or whether you step forward with awareness, intention, and trust in what you are beginning to understand. The familiar path will call to you in subtle ways. It will tell you that nothing needs to change. It will try to pull you back into automatic routines, into patterns that feel safe simply because they are known. There is comfort in repetition, even when that repetition is limiting. And this is why so many people remain in cycles that never truly fulfill them. They never pause long enough to see that another path exists. But you have paused. You have listened. And now you see. The other path does not shout. It does not demand. It simply waits for you to recognize it. It is the path of awareness, where your choices begin to come from a place of clarity rather than reaction. It is where you begin to notice what aligns with you and what does not, and you act accordingly, not out of fear, but out of understanding. This path requires something different from you. It requires presence. It requires honesty with yourself. It requires you to let go of certain habits, certain ways of thinking, and possibly even certain connections that no longer resonate with who you are becoming. And this is where many people hesitate, not because they do not want growth, but because growth asks for change. And change, even when it leads to something better, can feel uncomfortable at first. It asks you to step away from what is known and trust something that is still unfolding. But here is the truth Archangel Michael wants you to hold on to. You are ready. You would not be standing at this crossroads with this level of awareness if you were not prepared to move forward. The clarity you are feeling right now is not accidental. It is the result of everything you have experienced, everything you have learned, and everything that has been quietly guiding you to this moment. You are not being rushed, but you are being invited. Invited to choose consciously. Invited to step into alignment with what you now understand. Invited to move forward in a way that honors your awareness instead of ignoring it. And the choice does not have to be dramatic. It can begin with something simple. A shift in how you start your day. A decision to pause before reacting. A willingness to listen to your inner voice instead of overriding it. Small choices, made consistently, begin to shape a completely different path over time. This is how transformation truly begins, not in one overwhelming leap, but in a series of intentional steps. Archangel Michael stands with you as you take these steps, not ahead of you forcing direction, and not behind you pushing you forward, but beside you, steady, present, and protective. His presence is a reminder that you are supported, even when the path feels unfamiliar. So take a moment now and feel into what is in front of you. Not with fear, not with doubt, but with awareness. Because this crossroads is not a test. It is an opportunity. An opportunity to choose the version of yourself that is already beginning to awaken within you. And once you choose, everything begins to shift accordingly. Something is beginning to move in your life now, and you may not fully recognize it yet because it has been waiting beneath the surface for the right moment to emerge. It has not arrived suddenly. It has been forming quietly, building itself piece by piece while you were navigating everything you have already been through. And now, as you stand in this space of awareness, it is finally ready to reveal itself. Archangel Michael wants you to understand that what is coming toward you is not random. It is not accidental. It is something that has been prepared over time, aligned through moments that once felt disconnected or unclear. Every delay you experienced, every pause that frustrated you, every time something did not happen when you expected it to, those were not empty spaces. They were preparation. You may have wondered why certain things took so long, why answers did not come when you needed them, why progress felt slow or even blocked at times. But what you could not see then is becoming clear now. You were not being denied. You were being aligned. There is a difference between something being withheld and something being prepared. And what you have been experiencing is preparation. Because what is about to unfold requires a version of you that is more aware, more grounded, and more connected than before. If it had arrived earlier, you might not have recognized its value. You might have overlooked it, mishandled it, or even walked away from it without realizing what it truly was. But now, you are different. Your awareness has grown. Your understanding has deepened. You are beginning to see patterns, recognize signs, and trust your instincts in ways you did not before. And because of that, you are ready to receive what is coming in a completely different way. This is the hidden blessing that has been forming behind everything you have experienced. It may come as an opportunity. It may come as clarity. It may come as a connection that feels different from anything you have known. Or it may come as a sudden realization that shifts the way you see your entire path. However it arrives, one thing will be clear: you will feel the difference. Because what is aligned does not bring confusion. What is meant for you will not require you to force understanding or question your worth. It will feel steady. It will feel right, even if it is new. And that sense of quiet certainty will be your confirmation. Archangel Michael is guiding you to remain open in this moment. Not impatient, not demanding answers, but open. Because when you are open, you allow what has been prepared for you to enter your life without resistance. There is also something important you must release now. Any belief that you have missed your chance. Any thought that it is too late. Any feeling that others have moved ahead while you were left behind. These thoughts are not truth. They are echoes of past doubt, and they no longer align with where you are now. What is meant for you does not pass you by. It waits until you are ready to receive it fully. And readiness is exactly where you are standing now. This is why things are beginning to shift. This is why your awareness has been increasing. This is why this message reached you before anything else could take your attention again. Because you are entering a moment where what has been hidden is about to become visible. You may not see it all at once. It may unfold gradually. But you will feel a sense that something is changing. A quiet knowing that something is aligning. A realization that what once felt delayed is now moving forward in its own perfect timing. Trust that feeling when it comes. Do not question it. Do not try to control it. Allow it. Because this is not something you need to chase. It is something that has already been prepared and is now ready to meet you where you are. And as it begins to reveal itself, you will understand why everything had to happen the way it did. Nothing was wasted. Everything was leading you here. And now you are beginning to see it more clearly. Why things unfolded the way they did, why certain doors remained closed, why confusion seemed to linger longer than you expected. It was never meant to harm you. It was meant to position you. And today, June 11th, marks a moment where that positioning begins to make sense in a way it never has before. There is a divine timing to everything, and what once felt like delay is now revealing itself as precision. Archangel Michael is showing you that nothing in your journey has been random or wasted. Every moment of waiting carried a purpose. Every setback carried a redirection. Even the times when you felt lost were guiding you toward a deeper understanding of yourself and your path. But you could not see it while you were inside it. You could only feel the weight of it. Now, you are beginning to see from a higher perspective. And from this perspective, everything changes. The pain you experienced was not there to break you. It was there to refine you. The confusion you felt was not there to trap you. It was there to slow you down until the right alignment could take place. The silence you encountered was not absence. It was preparation. You were being shaped for something that required more awareness than you had before. And now that awareness is here, this is why today feels different. This is why this message reached you before anything else could distract you. Because this is the moment where understanding replaces frustration, where clarity replaces doubt, where you begin to recognize that your journey has been guided, even when it did not feel that way. Archangel Michael wants you to release any remaining resistance you are holding onto. The need to question why things happened the way they did. The urge to compare your timing to others. The habit of looking back with regret instead of forward with understanding. Because once you release that resistance, something powerful begins to happen. You step fully into alignment. Alignment is not something you chase. It is something you allow. It is the natural state that emerges when you stop resisting what has already been arranged for you. And right now, everything is arranging itself in your favor, even if you can only see part of it. There is a flow that has been waiting for you to step into it. A rhythm that does not require force. A direction that does not require confusion. But to enter that flow, you must trust what you now understand. You must accept that your timing is not behind. It is exact. You must believe that what is meant for you is already finding its way toward you. Because it is. You are no longer in a place of delay. You are in a place of unfolding. And as this unfolding continues, you will notice something shifting within you. A sense of calm replacing urgency. A sense of clarity replacing doubt. A sense of quiet confidence beginning to take root where uncertainty once lived. This is how you know you are aligned. Not because everything is instantly perfect, but because you are no longer fighting against what is happening. You are moving with it. You are trusting it. You are allowing it to guide you forward. Archangel Michael is walking with you in this moment, reinforcing this alignment, strengthening your awareness, and ensuring that nothing pulls you back into the confusion you have already outgrown. So take a deep breath and recognize where you are now. You are not lost. You are not delayed. You are exactly where you need to be. And everything that comes next will build upon this alignment you are stepping into right now. If you feel this truth settling into your spirit, then receive this blessing fully. Type "I step into alignment" in the comments as a declaration of your readiness. Blessing code 8822 is now activated, opening the flow of clarity, peace, and divine timing over your life. And as you stand in this alignment, understand this: there is a greater purpose unfolding through you, and what you do with this moment matters. Because alignment is not the end. It is the beginning of something greater. As this alignment settles into your spirit, hear this calling beyond yourself. There are others who are still lost in the noise, still reaching for distraction instead of truth, still missing the doorway you just stepped through. When you sow into this message, you become part of the light that reaches them. The word says, "Give, and it shall be given unto you. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over." This is not just a verse. It is a living promise speaking over you right now. And I feel this deeply in my spirit. I am being called to help this message reach someone who needs it before it's too late. This is your moment of response. The links to give are placed in the description, and the QR code is before you. This is your seed into divine movement. As you give, may your life overflow with clarity, protection, and supernatural alignment. Step forward and act now. There is a shift happening within you now that goes deeper than understanding. It is a quiet awakening that is beginning to change the way you see yourself. Not just your circumstances, not just your path, but you. And this shift is something that cannot be reversed once it fully takes hold, because it is rooted in truth. For a long time, you may have questioned your sensitivity. You may have wondered, why you feel things more deeply than others, why certain environments affect you more strongly, why you can sense changes in energy even when nothing obvious is happening. There may have been moments when you wished you could turn it off, just to feel normal, just to feel unaffected. But Archangel Michael is revealing something important to you now. What you thought was a weakness has always been a gift. Your sensitivity is not something that makes you fragile. It is something that makes you aware. It allows you to pick up on what others overlook. It allows you to feel what is aligned and what is not, even before it becomes visible. It is part of the way you are guided, part of the way you are protected, part of the way you are meant to move through this world. The problem was never your sensitivity. The problem was that you were never shown how to understand it. So instead of trusting it, you questioned it. Instead of following it, you ignored it. Instead of honoring it, you tried to suppress it. And in doing so, you created a distance between yourself and one of your greatest sources of guidance. But that is changing now. Because as your awareness grows, you are beginning to see patterns more clearly. You are starting to notice how your instincts were often right, even when you doubted them. You are remembering moments when you felt something was off, and later realize you were correct. You are recognizing that your inner voice has been speaking to you all along. You just did not always listen. Archangel Michael is guiding you now to rebuild that trust. Not instantly, not perfectly, but steadily. You begin listening again when something feels right. To pause when something feels off instead of pushing through it. To allow your awareness to inform your choices instead of overriding it with logic that does not fully align with your deeper knowing. This is how your gift becomes strength. And as you begin to trust yourself in this way, something powerful happens. You stop seeking constant validation from the outside world. You stop needing others to confirm what you already feel inside. You begin to move with a quiet confidence that does not need to be explained or defended. This confidence is not loud. It is not forceful. It is steady, grounded, and deeply rooted in your connection to your own awareness. And this is where your true transformation begins. Because when you trust yourself, you also begin to trust the guidance that has been working through you all along. You recognize that you are not navigating this life blindly. You are being led, not in a controlling way, but in a way that honors your choices while gently guiding you toward what aligns with your purpose. There is also a sense of clarity that begins to emerge when you step into this trust. Things that once confused you start to make more sense. Situations that once felt overwhelming begin to feel manageable. Decisions that once felt difficult become clearer. Not because everything around you has changed instantly, but because your perception has shifted. You are seeing things from a place of awareness instead of reaction. And this changes everything. Archangel Michael is reminding you that you do not need to become someone else to move forward. You simply need to become more aligned with who you already are. To embrace the parts of yourself that you once questioned. To trust the instincts you once ignored. To honor the awareness that is now growing stronger within you. This is your awakening. Not something distant or unreachable, but something happening right now, in real time, as you listen, as you reflect, as you begin to understand yourself more deeply. So do not shrink back from this. Do not doubt it. Do not dismiss what you are beginning to see. Because this awareness is not temporary. It is the beginning of a new way of being. A way where you move with clarity instead of confusion. A way where you trust yourself instead of second-guessing. A way where you recognize that what you carry within you is not ordinary. It is purposeful. And as this awakening continues to unfold, you will begin to see your life through a completely different lens. One where everything starts to align not by force, but by truth. There is something you are being asked to do now, and it may feel simple on the surface, but it carries a deep transformation within it. You are being asked to release, not because you are losing something important, but because you are making space for something greater to enter your life. Holding on has become familiar to you. Holding on to old thoughts, old fears, old disappointments, even old versions of yourself that no longer reflect who you are becoming. It feels safe to hold on because it is known. Even when it is heavy, even when it limits you, it is still familiar. And familiarity can feel like comfort, even when it is not serving you anymore. But Archangel Michael is standing beside you now, gently urging you to loosen your grip. Because what you are holding on to is not meant to come with you into this next phase. There are thoughts that have repeated in your mind for too long, doubts about your worth, questions about your timing, fears about what might go wrong. These thoughts were shaped by past experiences, moments when things did not go the way you expected, moments when you felt uncertain or unsure of yourself. But those moments do not define your future. They were chapters, not conclusions. And yet, if you continue to hold on to them, they begin to shape your present in ways that limit what is trying to unfold. They become filters through which you see everything, even when they are no longer accurate. This is why release is necessary, not as an act of loss, but as an act of freedom. Archangel Michael is asking you now to become aware of what you are still carrying that no longer aligns with who you are becoming. It may be a belief that you are not ready. It may be a fear that things will not work out. It may be a habit of expecting disappointment before anything has even happened. These are not truths. They are remnants of the past, and you are no longer living in that past. You are here, now, in a moment where everything is beginning to shift. But for that shift to fully take place, you must allow space for it. You cannot carry the weight of old fears and expect to move freely into something new. You cannot hold on to doubt and expect clarity to fully settle within you. There must be a moment where you consciously decide to let go. And that moment is now. This does not mean everything disappears instantly. Release is not about forcing yourself to feel differently overnight. It is about choosing, again and again, not to attach yourself to what no longer serves you. When a doubtful thought arises, you notice it, but you do not hold on to it. When fear tries to return, you acknowledge it, but you do not let it guide your actions. When old patterns try to pull you back, you recognize them, but you choose differently. This is how release becomes real. It is not a single act, but a continuous choice. And with each choice, you create more space within yourself. Space for clarity, space for peace, space for the new direction that is beginning to unfold in your life. Archangel Michael is strengthening you in this process. His presence is not here to remove every challenge, but to remind you of your ability to rise above them, to show you that you are not bound by what you have experienced before, to help you see that your future is not limited by your past. There is also something else that happens when you release. You begin to trust more deeply, not just in outcomes, but in the process itself. You begin to understand that you do not need to control every detail, that you do not need to have every answer before taking a step forward, that you can move with a sense of openness instead of tension. And this trust allows something powerful to take place. Transformation. Not forced, not rushed, but natural and steady. Because once you stop holding on to what weighs you down, you begin to rise. Your energy becomes lighter. Your thoughts become clearer. Your path becomes more visible. And what once felt distant begins to feel within reach. So take this moment now and feel what you are ready to release. Not with resistance, not with fear, but with understanding. Because you are not losing anything of value. You are making space for everything that is meant to come next. And as you let go, something new is already beginning to take its place. There is a quiet shift forming just ahead of you now. Something that has not fully arrived yet, but is close enough that your spirit can already sense it. It feels like anticipation without a clear image, like standing at the edge of something new without fully seeing what is on the other side. This is not uncertainty. This is preparation for what is about to enter your life. Archangel Michael is revealing that what comes next will not look like what you have known before. It will carry a different energy, one that feels more aligned, more stable, more connected to who you are now rather than who you used to be. But because it is different, it may also require you to step forward with trust instead of hesitation. There are changes approaching in areas of your life that have felt stagnant or unclear. This could involve relationships, opportunities, or even your environment. Something that once felt fixed is beginning to shift. And while part of you may welcome this change, another part may feel unsure simply because it is unfamiliar. This is where your awareness becomes your strength. In the past, unfamiliar situations may have caused you to doubt yourself or pull back. You may have hesitated, questioned your readiness, or waited for more certainty before moving forward. But now, you are not the same person. You have grown. You have learned. You have become more connected to your inner guidance. And because of that, you are capable of navigating what is coming with a completely different mindset. Archangel Michael is asking you to remain open and ready, not in a state of urgency, but in a state of quiet preparedness. To trust that when the moment arrives, you will recognize it. To believe that you will know what to do, even if you do not have all the details in advance. Because what is coming will not require you to force understanding. It will meet you with clarity. You may find yourself presented with an opportunity that feels different from anything you have considered before, or a conversation that shifts your perspective in a way you did not expect, or even a sudden realization that changes the direction you thought you were going. When this happens, pay attention to how it feels, not how it looks on the surface, not how others might interpret it, but how it resonates within you. Because your inner response will be your guide. It will tell you whether something aligns or whether it is simply another distraction. This is why your awakening has been so important. Without it, you might not have recognized the difference. Without it, you might have overlooked what is meant for you or accepted what is not. But now, you are prepared to see clearly. There is also a sense of timing connected to what is approaching. It will not arrive too early, and it will not arrive too late. It will come at the moment when you are most ready to receive it. And when it does, it will feel like a natural continuation of everything you have already experienced, not something forced, but something that fits. Archangel Michael wants you to release any fear about what is coming next. Fear often arises when we try to imagine the future without having all the information. But you are not meant to have every detail right now. You are meant to trust the process that has already been guiding you. You have already been led this far. You have already been shown what you needed to see. And you have already begun to align with the path that is opening before you. So instead of worrying about what is ahead, focus on remaining present and aware. Continue listening to your inner guidance. Continue choosing clarity over confusion, trust over doubt, and awareness over distraction. Because what is coming does not require you to be perfect. It requires you to be ready. Ready to recognize it. Ready to receive it. Ready to step into it without holding yourself back. And as this shift begins to unfold, you will start to see how everything you have gone through has been leading you toward this moment. Nothing was out of place. Nothing was unnecessary. Everything hath been part of a larger movement bringing you exactly where you need to be. So stand in that knowing now, because what is about to enter your life will not just change your circumstances. It will confirm everything your spirit has been trying to tell you all along. Beloved soul, you have come all the way to this moment, and now everything begins to settle into a quiet, powerful understanding. The urgency that brought you here, the pause before you reached for your phone, the feeling that something important was waiting for you, it was all real. And now, you can feel the difference within yourself. You are not the same as you were when this message began. Something has softened inside you. Something has opened. There is a calm now that was not there before, a clarity that feels steady instead of forced. And this is exactly what was meant to happen, because this message was never about rushing you or overwhelming you. It was about bringing you back to yourself, back to awareness, back to alignment. Archangel Michael is still with you in this moment, but now his presence feels different. Not urgent, not warning, but peaceful, steady, reassuring. Like a quiet reminder that you are guided, protected, and never alone on this path, even when things feel uncertain. Take a breath and notice this. You chose to listen. Before distraction could take over again, before the noise could return, you gave yourself this moment. And that choice matters more than you realize. Because every time you choose awareness over distraction, you strengthen your connection to what truly guides you. June 11th will not just pass as another day in your life. It will remain as a turning point. A moment where you paused long enough to hear what your spirit needed. A moment where something deeper reached you before anything else could. And even as you move forward from here, that awareness does not disappear. It stays with you. It becomes part of how you see, how you choose, how you live. You do not need to hold on to this moment tightly. You do not need to fear losing it. What has awakened within you is not fragile. It is steady. It will continue to grow as long as you remain open to it. And you will. Because now you know the difference between noise and clarity. You know what it feels like to be present instead of pulled in every direction. You know what it feels like to listen, not just with your ears, but with your spirit. Archangel Michael leaves you with this quiet reassurance. You are exactly where you need to be. There is nothing you need to force, nothing you need to chase. What is meant for you will continue to unfold in its own perfect timing, just as it has always been doing. So move forward with peace. Move forward with trust. Move forward knowing that you are guided in ways you may not always see, but can always feel. And the next time you reach for your phone, you will remember this moment. You will remember that before everything else, there is always something deeper waiting for you. If this message has touched your spirit, then receive this final blessing now. Type "I walk in peace and clarity" in the comments as your declaration. Blessing code 9900 is now released over your life, sealing this moment with protection, calm, and divine guidance. And as this peace settles over you, hear this final calling that flows from this very moment. There are countless souls who are still caught in the noise, still reaching for their phones without ever hearing what could change their lives. When you give, you become the vessel that carries this message to them before it is too late. The Lord is speaking even now. Whoever sows generously will also reap generously, and this is your living invitation to step into that promise. I feel this rising within. I will help this message reach the one who is meant to hear it next. The PayPal link is waiting in the description, and the QR code is placed for you. This is your moment to act, not later, not someday, but now. As you release your seed, may heaven open over your life. May peace multiply within you, and may divine favor follow every step you take. Step forward and give with faith.